Welcome to the model room. Thanks for visiting. As I was setting up to shoot clear coat on the Porsche, I thought I would do a quick video just to show my spray booth setup. Nothing real unusual here, just the way I do it, my 2 cents. Your mileage may vary, but for what it's worth, this is how I do it. Here's the paint mixer that I use now. No more shaking by hand. I saw this on Woody's Scale Model Garage. I knew about it already. I'd never seen it work, and when I saw it work on his channel, I thought, well, I really want to get one of these. There's rubber feet on the bottom. It doesn't walk across the shelf. And in a few minutes, the paint's all mixed up, ready to go. I love this thing. Here's the spray booth setup. This is a Pace, and it's a real good spray booth. Very well made. It runs pretty quietly. I like this a lot. And down here is the compressor. This is a Sparmax. Again, it runs very quietly. I'm sorry for the wires in the way. And I'm sorry for freehanding this. This really doesn't lend itself to having the camera sit on a tripod. I'll try and hold it as steady as I can. The Sparmax is a good air compressor. It's got a big tank, so it doesn't cycle on and off every 10 seconds. The only thing I don't care about very much is on this side is the on-off switch, and over here is the pressure gauge. And at my age, I'm a little old to be seeing that pressure gauge very clearly. As you can see, I marked a couple of settings on there, but rather than get up and down on my knees, I made a second pressure gauge here so that I can change it on the fly. I have this airbrush set up right now. I think this is the first airbrush that I ever used in painting a model, and it works real well. I like it. It's a single action. There is a video by a guy named Andy X from, I don't know, 10 years ago, where he shows how to paint with a single action airbrush, and it's really good. I'll link it below. He uses the Don Yost method of enamel and lacquer thinner. That works very well. Don, really, he got me started airbrushing with his videos, and I knew him. He was a wonderful guy. He was the life of the party. We miss him a lot. Those videos are still running. John Papp has permission from the family to keep those videos going on YouTube. I'll put a link to that as well. In here you can see I put a piece of cardboard down just to kind of keep the spray booth clean if I can. I also got some styrofoam. I bought a desk recently. It came packed in styrofoam. So I'm going to cut that up and I can use those as well. I have some extra lights. There's one there. Here's one up here. Use that for videos as well. This one is an LED, so it's a cool light. This one is an incandescent light. And of course, incandescents put actually out more heat than light. But I use that because if I'm spraying and I have a body and the paint job is coming out pretty well, it's smooth and glossy, sometimes I will run it past this heat source to try and flash that paint a little bit. I don't put it so close that I'm going to harm the paint or the plastic. I don't do it long enough that it's going to make an issue. But I do it because I think it helps. I think it helps cut down on rods. I may be wrong. If I am, well, no harm done. Down here you can see that I do have a rug. There's a nice wooden floor under here. We refinished it before I set up this model room, and this is just a cheap rug. If overspray gets in the air and it lands down there, it doesn't matter. And it does. I mean, if you look at the compressor, you can see there's kind of dust on it. That's not dust. That's paint that's built up over the years. No matter what spray booth you use, or compressor or airbrush, there's going to be some paint in the air, minuscule amounts, and they do build up over the years. That's the reason that I don't keep my recording equipment out when I'm spraying. There are plenty of videos out there on spraying models, but I put my stuff away to keep that from happening. Okay, that's the setup. Whoops, almost forgot this. This is an aftermarket light. It's on a swivel, as you can see. It attaches up here by a strong adhesive. It's cordless. It comes off. It reattaches with a magnet. And it has 3 levels of light, 2 bright ones and 1 warm yellow one. With this now I've got light coming in 3 directions so I can really see what I'm working on. Okay, a couple quick things at the bench. I keep my solvents in glass bottles. This is isopropyl alcohol lacquer thinner. The stoppers inside are glass as well. I thought about using lab wash bottles to store these in, and frankly, I chickened out. I thought, I'm going to come in one day and I'm going to find that the solvent ate through that plastic and it's going to be all over my bench. So I figure, I'm just going to use these and refill them every once in a while. I mean, they hold 4 ounces. That's plenty. And I've got a funnel, and they fill up quick. So refilling them is not an issue. I said that I would talk a little bit about the airbrushes. This, as I said, is the one that I use quite often. Inexpensive. It's from Pache. And I put the color cup on from Pache because I don't like the siphon bottles. This is single action. On, off, on, off. That's the way it works. You can adjust the air pressure with the gauge on the bench, adjust the paint flow with this little dial here, and, puts out a lot of paint. For a model body, it does a fine job. And I think if you look at the Andy X video, you'll see that it's very useful. Its big brother is this. This is the Pache H. Again, it's a single action airbrush. It just goes up and down, on, off. Got quite a bit of travel. I mean, I guess you can finesse it a little bit to have like half pressure or something. Change the airflow with this knob here. Again, these things are easy to clean. They're very sturdy. They do a good job. They're not expensive. I like them. This is the Iwata Revolution. It's a dual action. And again, on, off. Here, you can finesse the airflow a little bit, but there's maybe a 1/4 inch of travel here. There are people that can do that, artists especially, I believe, that can do that and still work the paint flow back and forth. And that's got a lot more travel, so you can kind of finesse that more easily, I think. Good airbrush, wonderful machine. And it's not too hard to clean. Once you do a couple times, you get used to pulling the needle and cleaning it out. Dave on his channel does a wonderful job of showing how to clean an airbrush. And I use this, and I like it for different things. I just get the idea. All right, today I'm going to use the Iwata, and I'll do it. And then I just got this. Knock this over. I just got this. It's the Trigger airbrush from Gallery, and I haven't used it yet. I like it. The thing about this is, of course, that it is listed as a dual action airbrush. The Grex also does that with their Trigger airbrushes. I talked to Grex people a couple of years ago, and I said, your Trigger airbrush is really a single action because you get air. This is the travel for air. You get air when you go to here and no paint. From here on, now you're adjusting the paint flow, but it's full air pressure. So really, it is on and off. You're not going to get paint by pulling this halfway to get half of the air. You got to have all the airflow, then you get as much paint flow as you need. Again, I love these things. Dave has told me that the fan cap is amazing. I want to try it. I'm going to get to it soon. But in the meantime, I have to clear that Porsche body, and I think I'm just going to use a regular dual action for that. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your visiting. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.